Alright, welcome to the build out of my van, and today we're going to do a little bit of insulation. So I've already started a little bit up here in the top sides, cutting some strips and feeding it along, and got the top insulated. I think now what I'm going to do is go ahead and do these long narrow sides right here and get those attached and then move forward and get the whole thing done. I'm anxious to start framing this. I don't know if anyone else experiences this with their van build, but there's a certain point that you want to get to, which is like the most exciting, the most fun, and the most challenging, and you just want to get to that point. But in the meantime, trying to get there, you don't want to be sloppy and get in a big rush. So I am still going to take my time and get things done, although I am looking forward to getting this thing framed out and seeing some of this in here. So let me show you what I got and what we're going to do. Okay, so the type of insulation that I'm using is the 3M Thinsulate, and this is the 1.5" stuff. It's more of a sound deadener insulation, and it's got very good R value, and here's the specs on it. So I have the SM600L, and if you see that, this has an R value of 5.2, which is better than the styrofoam or some of the wool that I think most people use. This is a little more expensive, but I think it's worth the cost. So alright, so we're going to go ahead and cut our piece for the top. We'll get some adhesive on there and try it out, see how well I do. Let's get it going. So to make the cut, I'm going to use a pair of heavy-duty shears, and this stuff is pretty tough. They recommend using some industrial type shears, so I happen to have these, and they work great. So let's go ahead and get this cut. Alright, so for the spray adhesive, I'm going to use 3M77. I would have used 3M90, but there seems to be a shortage in the world of 3M90 today, and the only 4 containers I could find would have cost me $150 plus shipping. I'm not going to pay that kind of money. So we're going to try this, and hopefully it holds. So the idea is to go ahead and spray this, and then we'll spray our insulation, let it tack up, and then we'll get it up there and we'll see how well it holds. Who knows? It might work. If not, I think next is contact cement. We'll spray it on. But I think this will work. So let's give it a try. I think it's going to work. Alright, I think that is going to work. It's pretty sticky and you get the goop all over your fingers. But yeah, I think that's going to work fine. So now we have the rest of it to do. I think what I'm going to do is this little strip here that I've got left over before I cut it here, is I'm going to go ahead and cut some strips and just feed them down inside the channels right here. There's 5 channels. We're going to go ahead and cut those and feed those in, and then we can start on these panels here. We'll knock one wall out at a time. Getting pretty close to finishing up the insulation, so it sure is a lot quieter in here now. So we have the kill mat on, we got the insulation over it, and I have 2 pieces left. I have 1 piece left here in the front, but I won't install that until the fan goes in, and then 1 here in the back. Once the fan gets installed here, I'll put insulation on both sides, and then after that I think I'll get me some rock wool, and we'll start tucking in all the big gaps here. These holes here in the bottom, they go down pretty far, so it would take a lot of this Thinsulate to get down in there. So we're just gonna, I think, get some rock wool and pack that in there really nice, and in the columns here on both sides, and probably along these rails here also on each side, top and bottom. And then we can call the insulation just about done. Alright, getting closer to framing. So we've come a long ways. Hang on. Alright, I'm happy with the progress so far, and boy, it sure is quiet in here. And yeah, it's looking really good. So I think the next step is going to be to put the fans in, and then we can get the rest of the insulation up and probably get some of that rock wool and tuck into those little tiny crevices, and then we'll move forward. So we're getting really close to start framing this thing, and then do a little bit of wiring, and yeah, so I'm getting pretty excited about it. Alright, we're going to call this video a wrap, and I hope you stay tuned and keep following along. We've got a lot to do, and I think it's going to look great when it's finished. So, you know what I'm going to say? Stay tuned.